Ballin'. Welcome to the next episode of Inside the Red Zone. I am your host, MJ. Obviously, at my bottom, if you can see on the screen, my co-host Tamir. How we doing?
Doing all right.
And guys, we've been trying to get this going for so long. Y'all don't. We have been trying for so long to get Ben as one of our collabs that we've been doing. We've been trying so hard. Ladies and gentlemen, I've shouted him out on multiple episodes. Ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin Rodriguez, aka NFL Playmakers, how we doing?
Doing great today, man. Finally had some, AFC Championship, NFC Championship. Sam Darnold getting it another playoff win, getting into the Super Bowl, first from the 2018 class. So, gonna be
That
excited to talk about all that today.
yes sir. So let's not waste any more time. Let's dive right into it, you guys. So championship weekend was everything we expected it. Some less, some more. Particularly speaking, we talking about the AFC Championship. So the Patriots went on to defeat the number one seed Denver Broncos 10-7 in a blizzard game. It was not blizzardy in the beginning. It was more towards the second half. It got crazy. So I do have a question for you both. Would it be would we be talking about a different situation or maybe a different Super Bowl here if Bo Nix was playing? Tamir?
Most definitely. But I do got to say something. This is to my man's Ant. I did have the Patriots losing. I got to be a man of my word. He proved me wrong. That's my fault. That's to you, Ant. But anyway, if Bo Nix was there, I feel like Bo Nix was more prepared. He got them to the Super Bowl and he had a shootout with Josh Allen. He was hot. So had Bo Nix been there. But I also feel like the weather became a factor. You can't see, you can't really draw the ball down the field. And then I know Sean Payton he's mad right now. He didn't take that field goal in the early game. That was crucial. And I just know he wish he had that one back. He was confident. They were feeling hot. Jared Stidham came down, threw that touchdown. He was like, oh, we might have something. And it was a long game for the Patriots. It was a lot of what's going on. Drake May, he had to turn into Mahomes, let the team in rushing. So had Bo Nix been there, I feel like it would have been a bit different game. But at the end of the day, Patriots won. GG's to them.
Ben?
Yeah, I mean, Tamir hit it right on the head. You'd be lying if you said that the weather was not a factor in this game. We clearly saw it. Ultimately, kind of decided the game because we saw Denver try to tie the game with a field goal, but it wasn't even close because, I mean, the weather was like you said, it was just like a blizzard. One thing I wanted to point out, too, is just the fact that Jared Stidham out threw Drake May. Drake May only had 86 yards passing,
That is
so
correct.
props to Jared Stidham, getting the job done. He did everything he could, but ultimately at the end of the game, throwing an interception to, I guess, seal the deal for New England. But I had New England winning this game too, coming in. I think Mike Vrabel had the slight edge over head coach Sean Payton. And I think going forward, the Super Bowl matchup that we have is honestly the arguably the two best coaches in the playoffs, other than Sean McVay, of course, who I thought had an outstanding playoff
And Liam Cohen. And Liam
year this
Cohen. I'll
year,
put him up
and
there.
and Liam Cohen too. But yeah, I think for the Super Bowl, it's going to be a great head coaching matchup between Mike Vrabel and Mike McDonald. Battle of the
Yeah,
mics, if you will.
shout out Mike McDonald. Me personally about this game, I mainly point in the direction of the miscues that Denver had. We Tamir, you just brought up the missed field goal. Me, I just told my dad that's good. I told my dad when they didn't kick that field goal on a 4th and 1, I told him that that's gonna come back to bite him because it's the AFC Championship game. It's not like you're in a regular season game, whereas you have it tomorrow. You legitimately have no tomorrow when it comes to the playoffs. There's no tomorrow. And I also want to go to that fumble where the refs initially called it an incomplete pass, but it
Mm.
was a backwards pass behind the ref. And the reason why I knew initially it was a backwards pass, because look how the ball was thrown when Stidham lost the ball. It was behind the ref. It wasn't in front of the ref. It was behind the ref. That when it happened, so I'm like, And mind you, that should have been a touchdown, realistically speaking. Drake May
Yeah.
should not have a rushing touchdown, but stuff is life. So honestly, that right there, another miscue. And on top of that, the field goals. You honestly, when it came to the field goals, I understand you were kicking in blizzardy weather, but it just goes and ties back to the first miscue you guys had. You should have took the points right then and there. And
Mhm.
then when the front four of the Patriots figured out how to stop Stidham, oh, all we gotta do is just rush the cat, pressure him, he'll fold. That's what they did throughout the remainder of the game. Literally throughout the like the fourth, third, and fourth quarter, all between what Patriots and Denver did was just run the ball. That's literally all they did. In my personal opinion, I think Vrabel could have gotten the ball on a slant to one of Drake May's receivers because their jerseys blended in with the weather, so they had that advantage as well. So they could have easily ran a slant, pick up good old 5 yards if Drake May could see, and we were good. But I don't think Sean Payton trusted Stidham in that weather. I don't
Mm.
think so. I don't think so. I think he was just playing it too conservative. And granted, it's the AFC Championship, and granted you have a backup quarterback, and you're not the best situation possible. But I don't think Sean Payton trusted his backup quarterback enough to make those Bo Nix esque type of decisions on
On the
in
fly,
that
yeah.
exactly in that blizzardy type of weather as well. So honestly, anybody can have their take on this on how and why they believe the Denver Broncos lost. All we know right now is the Super Bowl contention between the NFC champions and NFC champions Seattle Seahawks and the AFC champions the New England Patriots, which leads us to our next topic. The Pats are back. We didn't want the Chiefs back. We got the Pats, in which I'm eternally
Mm.
grateful for. In my personal opinion, I'm tired of all the Taylor Swift fans. No offense to Taylor Swift, um, but the Pats are back. Can they beat what we come to know as the dark side? Can Drake May mustered up enough? Can Mike Vrabel game plan enough against the Seattle defense? Ben, let's start with you.
I think they definitely can, and I think honestly the main point on the offensive side of the ball for me for New England is how good of a running back duo Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson could be. I would like to see Henderson more involved in this offense. We know how many long rush plays he can produce in those big wow plays that puts your team ahead of the other. I think it's just another question you have to ask ourselves too is how is this Patriots run defense going to look like in this Super Bowl? Because Kenneth
Mm,
Walker again is going to be getting pretty much all of the touches in this bowl. I have him going for over 19 attempts, honestly. Um, yeah, it's going to come down to the run game versus the run defense. I think just like how we saw in the Rams Seattle game, but that one was also a shootout, kind of another game between Puka and Devontae versus JSN, as we saw Sam Darnold just force feeding JSN, and he just caught the ball seemingly almost every time. I mean, there was a no look pass at
that
one
one
point
that
that
one
Darnold
hand,
had to
that one
put them in the
hand.
red zone, and they ultimately punched it in. So I mean, the quarterback play, obviously, too, is going to be another main point of focus. How does Sam Darnold look in his first ever Super Bowl appearance? This is Drake May's second year, guys, and he's already in the Super Bowl. So basically, honestly, imagine a Jaden Daniels season, but the Commanders make it to the Super Bowl. That's honestly what I would compare it to. But I do like this New England defense a lot better than the Commanders defense, I would say that they had. So I don't know who to really give the certain edge to. It's going to be a very interesting game. Tamir, what are you looking at in this Super Bowl? Do you think the Patriots could get it done? Do they have any dark magic left?
I can't lie. Every time I said Drake May is gonna fold, he came out and won. I said he was gonna fold against the Patriots, not the Patriots, on the Texans. You know what I mean? CJ Stroud, I didn't count for him gambling that day, but it is what it is. He
Man,
Yeah,
came
he
out
was under
and
the
won.
influence. He
He
was
was
under the
definitely
influence.
under the influence, but he came out and won. I'm not going to make no excuse about that. I thought Denver was going to do it, and they kind of did to a certain extent. He has looked a little rough against these top tier defenses. I'm not going to lie. The Drake May we know, the Drake May who's like calm collected, he's taking multiple sacks in these games and stuff like that. But He's proving me wrong every single time. I think he got a little bit of dark magic left. He's on a Joe Burrow type run. He got the weapon. Yeah, he got that one weapon that truly defines their team. That's how I wouldn't say Jaden Daniels. I was really thinking it's a Joe Burrow type of season. How they made it to the bowl in his second, or was it that his third year? I think it was the second year when he came back off
Second
that
year.
landmine
Second year.
injury he had, tearing all his ligaments in his leg. But I think Seattle's defense could hold him back. That D line they got is pretty good, but it's really the secondary. Stephon Diggs is their number one receiver. I don't think Kayshon Boutte is going to be able to beat Tyreek.
No.
Tyreek, what's his
Woolen.
name? Tyreek Woolen and Devon Witherspoon. They got Kobe Bryant, not the basketball player, the football player. On that other side of the ball, it's a lot of the secondary pieces in that Seahawks defense that's just gonna help. That's gonna give Drake May a challenge. And you got that crazy. You got Tank Demarcus Lawrence. I'm happy to see him in the bowl.
I was just
He
about to bring
he
him
Yo,
up.
shout
he
out. Shout
happy
out. Shout
happy to
out
see him in
Tank,
the bowl
man.
as a former Cowboys player. It is what it is. Wish it was us in the bowl with him, but
We're
they
not
got
winning
Tank,
with
and he's having a great season. Leonard Williams, a Giants
literally.
player. NFC East players are going to different teams and making it to the bowl.
All
We had Saquon do it last year. Now we got two other NFC East defensive players. So, and they both had Pro Bowl season. Had they lost, they would have been in Pro Bowl this year. So that D line is certified with those two guys on the line. So I think Drake May is going to have to really bring his aim game. I don't know if Mike Vrabel is going to be able to do it, but one thing I would like to point out, this is both QB's first Super Bowls. So they both have the lack of experience. This is really they're both of theirs first real playoff runs. If we want to be honest, like Sam Darnold was a Jet, and then he got to Minnesota. He went to the playoffs, but he got spanked. It is what it is. Drake May, they was what 14-3. I know not 14-3. They was 4
3
and
and
13.
14.
3 and
3 and
14
14.
last year. He barely played. He came back and made it to the Super Bowl his second year. It's going to be a lack of experience on both ends. But I got to give Seattle the edge. I don't know who on it unless Christian Gonzalez is really really him. How the Patriots fans want to describe it. But Jason has been killing these CBs. I don't want to use, but it's been bad. We saw what he did against LA. But LA's DBs aren't that good. But he did that to the Texans. What's another team? He did that to the Niners. He did that to a team with a couple of good DBs. So Jason is a proven receiver, and you're going to need to bring your A game. And as we saw Cooper Cup, he come out
Hey,
the shot.
hey, 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 what I
Finally
say?
did
What I
something.
say?
He
What I
did say
say?
Cooper Cup for 50 yards a couple weeks ago.
What
I'm
I
not gonna
say?
lie.
What
Did
I
I put
say?
it? No, but you know what I mean. It did.
Hey,
But yeah,
Y'all not,
Cooper
bro.
I'll say
Cooper
this,
Come
Cup.
on
Jameer.
now. Come
I'll
on
say
now.
this. I'll say
Super Bowl
this.
MVP Cooper Cup. Super Bowl MVP. Get it right. Super Bowl MVP Cooper Cup. Say it right.
Whoa.
Hey, get it right.
I'll say this, Jameer. I think you make a good point of obviously with the Seattle defense, they're stacked all across the board. It's their best defense that they've had in a very long time, obviously. But I think honestly, can we really say that they have an equal experience here between the quarterbacks? I mean, Sam Darnold did play the Patriots twice a year at one point, and he's been in the league for almost twice as long as Drake May. So honestly, I would give the quarterback experience to Sam Darnold.
But it's the playoffs. It's the Super Bowl. It's not no regular season game when he's on a jet stinking it up. This is the bowl we're talking about. He might not ever.
I
I
like to
mean, he
add
did go
something.
toe to toe with Aaron Rodgers his rookie year on the
Oh
Jets
yeah, I mean
with
that's a
a
good.
scrub squad. So,
Yeah,
I mean, Darnold was still a good quarterback in his early beginnings, in my opinion. And now he's obviously polished. I mean, he was nowhere near the quarterback he is today. But I don't know. I think Sam Darnold just might have the edge here as far as a
Sam is the
quarterback matchup. I mean, if Jared Stidham can outthrow Drake May, I sure think that Sam Darnold can do it.
I would just like to say Sam Donald did quote see ghosts one game when he played the Patriots, so I'll like to just add that in there.
yeah, but it's a different
Joking
Patriots team.
aside.
It's a whole
It's
different
different.
coaching
It's
staff.
different.
He was
Entirely
playing against
different.
Bill
It's
Belichick
different.
and Brady for a couple of years.
And
That's a whole different
also
animal to
people
go
forget
against.
this. People forget this as well. He was on San Francisco's roster. So where are
And
they
Kyle
playing in the
Shanahan
Super
is a
Bowl?
quarterback
San
whisperer.
Francisco. That's
Kyle
also I
Shanahan
would give the edge to Darnold in that situation too, because he's already familiar with playing there.
Kyle Shanahan's a quarterback whisperer. We all know that. Kyle Shanahan somehow magically, Mac Jones went on a crazy run this season under Kyle Shanahan,
Yep.
and we were thinking Kyle Shanahan definitely has that quarterback whisperer in him. But going into Pats, Jake May against this dark side defense. You guys have very valid points about both sides, on offense and on defense. I want to talk about Seattle's defense, and as long as and we saw Witherspoon get up and it was a divisional game, so I mean it kind of makes sense. We saw Witherspoon talk trash to the Rams bench, and we saw him the next play get burnt on man to man coverage. So
That
I
was
will
Nick
say for
Imawari.
yeah.
That was the
So I
rookie. I remember
so
that play.
that, thank you. I will honestly say for that, I think because realistically speaking, especially on third down, I recommend they play zone because Keyshawn Booty is going to be on that streak route. So I recommend for them third down, play zone. Do not touch man coverage on third down when it comes to Drake May in that offense. But yeah, you guys are right. This is each quarterback's first Super Bowl. Essentially, for Sam Darnold, yeah, he has been in the league for a hot minute, but it's going to be a heavyweight boxing match. And whereas the first, we're not going to get a high scoring game. The first quarter, we're not. Balls are not going to be thrown out. They're going to be playing a lot conservative. It's going to be a feeling out process. And then when you get to after you get the feel out process, then you're going to see the quarterbacks get more comfortable. You're going to see more 15-yard passes being thrown. You're going to see more risks being taken as the game progresses. But I do like this Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has completely changed the narrative on how I feel about him. Because coming into this postseason, I was thinking, are we going to get New York Jets Sam Darnold? Or are we going to get this Sam Darnold that we've known and loved this past season? Because sometimes you can take the person out of New York. You can take the New York out of them, unfortunately. So we all thought it was either going to be a hit or a miss. And luckily, he's hit on all three cylinders. He's hit against divisional games, blew out. It wasn't even really him. He didn't have to do nothing in that divisional game against the 49ers. That was all K9. And then he has more than likely, if he has that same performance he had against the Rams, he's guaranteed, against the Rams, he's more than likely going to be a Super Bowl MVP at the end of February 8th. And if he continues to be on the progress that he is right now, and I've said this in multiple group chats that I've in, we're going to have uncomfortable conversations regarding Sam Darnold. Because he is the first quarterback out of the quarterback class that he was currently in with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Baker Mayfield to make the Super Bowl. And if he wins the Super Bowl, what mountain or what echelon are we putting him at? Because now he's one of three NFC quarterbacks that are currently playing right now: Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, if this were to happen, Sam Darnold to win a that three, I believe, three, to win a Super Bowl. So where do we put him at? But that's a conversation we have for another time. Transitioning to the next topic, you guys, this Seattle team. And Ben, I want to get your take on this first, because I know you have you have a very, very you have a take about this. Do you believe definitively, because out of all 16 NFC teams, do you believe that this Seattle team is definitively the best team in the NFC?
I think they deserved it, man. I think that their team from top to bottom was built correctly. They hit a home run with hiring Mike McDonald as their head coach. I mean, a lot of people are saying this also. If Mike McDonald was still on the Baltimore Ravens coaching staff, that they could have went even farther last year and possibly this year as well. But I mean, a lot of things didn't go right for the Baltimore Ravens. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is that Mike McDonald and his coaching staff has, created a culture in Seattle, and they've been just winning and winning and winning. So, I mean, I don't know who else would stack up as much to them, because my team to stack up against Seattle in the NFC was the Los Angeles Rams, and we just saw how that ended up. So, I would give all the cookies and all the, I guess, kudos to the Seattle Seahawks for being the best team in the NFC this year.
Tamir?
Well, I gotta give it to Seattle. They done beat everyone we said could match up with them. They beat the Rams, but twice. They beat them twice. It's 2-1 this year, so you can't really say the Rams. Detroit, they fell off. They were projected, but they fell off this year. They didn't even make the playoffs. Can't say Philly. They got a liability at quarterback. You can't say Philly. Who else in the NFC can you say outside of that? So it's just
We're
like,
not going to disrespect Jalen Hurts like that. I'm sorry. No.
Oh Lord,
No.
here we go.
you
No, no,
said
no.
Oh
disrespect. We not
God.
going to do what?
We're not
Oh
going to
God, here we go.
disrespect Jalen Hurts. I mean,
Oh
you
God, here we
could. You
go.
might, but I won't.
Here we go.
Jalen Hurts is grabber. He's a bottom 5 QB in the NFL. I don't want to hear it. The fact that he's starting and getting paid the way he's getting paid, I could do what he's doing. If I could get my
Cowboys
oh,
fan, by the way. All
oh
right,
yeah,
let's
I'm a
go.
big Cowboys fan, and I have a star
We
I'm just
QB.
them
saying that's
boys.
why you're not
We them
really fond
boys.
of Mr. Hurts.
We
Then.
them boys.
We
But you
them
understand we have
boys.
a top 5 QB or top 10 QB in the league, right?
I love Dak.
We all do. I
I
digress.
mean,
But
North
yeah,
Dakota.
I think Seattle is definitely the best team in the NFC. Maybe in the league in general right now, how the way they're built right now.
Honestly, and to me, you made a valid point. Honestly, and this is my personal opinion because I can't fully, we can't fully blame Detroit's players because they were in a coaching deficit. They just got rid of Ben Johnson and they just got rid of Aaron Glenn, in which, with both of them, they had 15-2 seasons last season, and so I think the Detroit Lions are when they have a decent coaching staff and when their players are healthy. Because Amon was on and off when it came to injury this year. I'm not saying they're the best team in the NFC, but I'm saying that they are definitely next year. I think it's going to be a comeback season. It's going to be a comeback. Quote me on this. It's going to be a comeback season for a lot of teams. It is going to be a teams that we saw in last year's playoffs. Expect them to be back in next year's playoffs. Expect that. Kansas City Chiefs, because right now Patrick Mahomes, he's on the verge of playing Week 1. I don't know God why. I thought we were good until mid-season for him, but I digress. Jaden Daniels was hurt basically all season long. Terry McLaurin
Yeah,
was
they shut him
injured
down
basically
early.
all season long. That defense, oh gosh, Zach Ertz took a crazy injury against the Vikings. That one game, like later on, I forget what game it was. Um, I believe the Commanders will make the playoffs. I believe the Detroit Lions will find their way back into the playoffs next year. I believe. I was about to say the Vikings. Lord have mercy. Smack me. I was about to say the Vikings. They're not going to the playoffs no time soon unless the Nine and Jay Jettas get on the same page. Um, I have a sleeper for the AFC NFC South. I think the Falcons can find the way back into the playoffs. I think the
Mm.
Falcons can find the way into the playoffs next year.
Yeah,
But
they
as
had
far as
next seasons of just underachieving.
I think this is it for them because now they have Matt Bron, but they have Kevin Stefanski as well. But hopefully, Kevin Stefanski, wishing him nothing but the best, even though the Shador situation happened. Hopefully he could turn that team around. Prayerfully, hopefully, because you have a lot of pieces on that team. So prayerfully and hopefully you could turn that team around. Um, but I do believe Seattle is the best team in the NFC, quarterback wise, position wise, skill wise, offensive, defensive, top to bottom, stacked, top to bottom, just elite on every level. Mike McDonald said 2 years ago, just envision. He told the team, envision yourselves in the NFC Championship, envision yourself touching that confetti, and heading to the Super Bowl. But they did a messed up thing. I'll definitely say that before we go to our next topic. So when they won the division and got the number one seed, they left a cigar in the locker room at
Saw that.
Levi Stadium, an untouched cigar at Levi Stadium. And now they going to play for the bowl, in which I believe that's going to be the same locker room they're going to be in for the Super Bowl. Man, if I'm sorry, if the 49 for the 49ers, if that doesn't drive y'all for next season, I don't know what does. I do not know what does. So, even though the Rams did lose, Matthew Stafford still has his ring. Sean McVay has his ring still. But the one person we can't ignore, in which has had a lot of heartbreak in the NFC Championship, now going 0 for 5 in this area, Devontae Adams. Now, granted, he's had one of his best seasons he had in the past 2 seasons, because we know 1 year with the Raiders, which was catastrophic for his career. Derek Carr, no disrespect to him, was throwing him
Man, get me out of here before I lose my life.
throwing him death balls, pause. And then we know the situation that surrounded Aaron Rodgers. We all thought, oh my gosh, A Rod and Devontae are back, only just to realize what is going on with these two, what is going on with the New York Jets, and spending basically half their bread on Devontae and Aaron Rodgers. So regarding Devontae, if not now, when is it going to be that one Super Bowl run for Devontae Adams? Tamir?
I think I think if he stay, he still got the juice. It's not he's not regressing. He's not regressing as much as we think he would as a 30-plus-year-old receiver would regress usually. Devontae Adams is a technician. He's probably the one of the best technicians in the league. So if he wanted to hop teams, which I would if I was him, because you was one game away. One game away. You were one drive away from really
But that's
getting
the
to
thing,
that.
though. That's the thing, though. He's been one game away in Green Bay, 4 times in Green Bay. This, honestly, I could have seen the Rams winning, but stuff happens and they played late. So, I mean, but continue, though.
I think he will probably his best chance is to stay with the Rams. But they got to pay Puka, and Puka is
Yo,
going to reset the
oh,
market. Puka and JSN might be the first, if not, if it already hasn't. I was saying this earlier. If it already hasn't happened before, because Jay Jettis got that crazy contract, Jamar got a crazy contract. They might be the first $200 million receivers we see ever in the NFL history. So we might want to look out for that. They're going to reset the receiver market, but they're literally 1A, 1B, the upper echelon in the NFL right now. So
I agree.
that's their contracts. So if they can't afford Devontae, I think he got to go to another team that's in the same area as the Rams were a year ago when they were struggling, or like 2 years ago when Puka. I feel like Puka quite literally saved Sean McVay's job a couple seasons ago when they had a bad season. They was like right after the Super Bowl. Weren't they like 12 or they was like 2 and something, or they
they
were
were under
super.
500.
They were
They
under
were under
500 a
500.
couple
They
seasons
were under
ago.
500
I
because
think
I
if I
know we're
was
talking
Vontae,
about.
I would look at a team who has the super potential to go do something. All they're missing is some key pieces, and it's a couple teams in
Good
the
luck.
NFC. It's a couple teams like that in the AFC. I got a team in mind that could do that, but we don't need him. So it's a couple teams he could go to,
He could go to
but
Baltimore.
he could go to Baltimore, and he would be Lamar's legit best receiver he's ever had, and that's saying something because Lamar's almost 10 years into the league as we're speaking.
And the best receiver he's had is a tight end in Mark Andrews.
And he's failing them now. So it's just like if I was Devontae, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be over yet. If he goes to a team with a proven quarterback like Lamar and they get the right offensive coordinator, who did they just hire? I
I
forgot who they
know
just
who you're
hired,
talking about.
but I think the head coach is going to be good enough for them. And I think Devontae, if he doesn't stay with
Yeah,
Wait,
LA,
Jesse
Todd
Minter?
Munkin,
Todd
Todd
Munkin.
Munkin. Yeah,
Okay,
That's the
Todd
Browns head
Munkin.
coach.
Oh yeah, my fault. Hold up.
Jesse
Jesse
Minter's the.
Minter. Jesse
Yeah,
Minter
Jesse.
was
Yeah,
hired by the
Jesse.
Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
I think he's good enough to help Lamar. Maybe not Lamar, but help the players around Lamar elevate to the Super Bowl caliber team that we all think they could be. And if I was Vontae, I'm going to Baltimore. But I think
Ben.
he's going to get a Super Bowl before he retires.
I'm gonna let you go real quick, but I'll say this, and I've told a lot of people this. Imagine if Cliff Kingsbury was working alongside Lamar Jackson. Next, Ben, go. Ben, go.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking to see Devontae after the game, and we could barely talk to reporters without breaking up. So you definitely got a feel for the guy. Just a crazy talented receiver. So him not being in the Super Bowl, of course, is a huge letdown. But yeah, you guys brought up good points. It'd be interesting to see if he just leaves the Rams or goes. I thought it was impressive that he came back from injury this year and still made a huge difference in games. He had a touchdown pass last game, or actually, he caught a touchdown. That's what I meant. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, big props to Devontae for the season. But yeah, like, as he goes up in age, it's gonna just be harder and harder to get back to that big game. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we are definitely feeling for Devontae in this moment because he's arguably we'll definitely put him up there top 30 receivers all time. Definitely top 30 receivers all time.
That's fair. You
And
could
his
probably
work
say top 20.
if we're being nice. If we're being nice. But yeah,
Skill
honestly,
wise, skill wise, he's definitely
skill
top
wise,
20.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, honestly, Devontae deserves. He needs before he hangs up the cleats. He definitely needs to get his one. He
I
definitely
got
needs to
Larry
get his one.
Fitz over him.
Oh,
That's
no
not
doubt.
crazy.
That's not
That's
crazy.
not
Larry
crazy.
barely dropped
That
passes.
that's not crazy.
He's
That's
top
honestly
five.
not.
In my opinion,
That's
Larry top five.
man. If Larry got that ring, he would definitely be. He'll definitely be top
Top
three.
three.
He'll
If he got
definitely. He's
that
like
ring, he'd be top three.
definitely top three. But as you segue, we're going to segue in into a controversial topic that has happened over the past 24 hours. Whereas
Oh, how
even
this happened.
our king LeBron James even tweeted out about how he feels about this issue. So Bill Belichick is eligible. Well, former New England Patriots head coach, now University of North Carolina head coach, Bill Belichick is eligible to be in the Hall of Fame. However, he is not eligible to be in the Hall of Fame this year. So Ben, I already know you got your tab open with all the statistics, all the references. Samir, I know you got your mic in hand.
Let me go ahead and go first, Ben. This is madness. I know we all grew up hating the Patriots because they was always winning off of some BS. But at the end of the day, we gotta recognize greatness. If Tom Brady is in the Hall of Fame, Bill Belichick has to be in the Hall of Fame. He won 6 rings with Tom. You can't deny that greatness. No matter what you can say, oh, Tom carried him. It don't matter. Tom isn't coaching the team. Bill Belichick is. He's probably one of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coaches in the sport of
The
football
greatest.
ever.
The
So
greatest.
I don't even know how they sat down in their board meeting. It was like, all right, we gonna vote coaches. Bill, nah, I ain't rocking with him this year. He gonna have to wait another year. Like, how can you do that? You can't. I don't care what you say. It's not like it's an Antonio Brown situation. Like his stats prove it, but it's the off the field issue. Bill Belichick was a pure coach, and you got to give him that respect.
Yeah, it's insane that he didn't make the Hall of Fame, and he's statistically the best coach of all time, and I don't think it's even close. Guys, check this out. He's been the coach for New England, or was the coach for New England for about 24 seasons, right? And
Mm-hmm.
in 9 of those seasons, he either won the AFC Championship or just straight out won the Super Bowl. So almost half the time that he coached for New England,
He's a
exactly,
winner.
he's a winner, man. He either wins the Super Bowl or he wins the AFC Championship, gets to the Super Bowl. So that's literally like a 50-50 shot every year if you're going to either win the Super Bowl or at least get there. Yeah, man, he deserves to be a
He's
first
one or two
ballot, and
coaches to
I'm
have an undefeated
surprised.
record.
Yeah, I'm very very
In the
surprised
regular
that he wasn't a
season.
first ballot
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Famer. A few people were speculating that maybe the people in the Hall of Fame committee were kind of, I guess, maybe butthurt about the whole Deflate Gate. I'm sure that there are people in the Colts organization still involved in the Hall of Fame committee, so maybe that could have some, salt to the wound, but we don't know. So uh, we'll see what happens with Bill Belichick's Hall of Fame ballot. But this is ridiculous.
Man, man, even if it was the deflate gate, Tom Brady was gonna beat the Colts regardless. He was gonna beat that Colts team regardless of whether it was a deflate gate or not. Yeah, you had prime Andrew Luck on there. Yeah, you had prime T.Y. Hilton, but Tom Brady was still gonna find a way to beat that Indianapolis Colts team.
I agree.
Yeah, granted their defense was not up to par, but they were still going to beat that Indianapolis Colts team, regardless. Regardless, that still was going to happen. But even Ben, because we're both journalists, Ben. So initially, how I looked at it was, from an unbiased perspective, was he got screwed. That's how we, as the viewers, as journalists, how we look.
Yeah, I
That's
feel like
initially how we
objectively speaking, he should 1000% be in the Hall of
one
Fame, first
thousand
ballot.
percent. And anybody who looks at his stats and was just like, so is he in the Hall of Fame yet or not? But as a biased reporter such as us, we have to remember we don't know what goes on in that room. We don't know what voting process takes place. We don't know what happens in the room. Whereas they decide, okay, who are the finalists or semifinalists or quarterfinalists for the most prestigious prize aside from a Super Bowl that the NFL has to offer? Who is going to get their head who is going to get their head not cremated but head made in statue and live on for eternity? Because granted, you pass on, but your name lives on for eternity. We don't know what goes
Can,
on in
baby.
those rooms. We don't know. We don't know. But from an outside looking in, honestly, Bill Belichick is certifiedly officially, even without even having the title yet. Because my thing is, so if Bill Belichick doesn't get into the hall, does Brady get into the hall first ballot? That becomes the question now. Because Brady's eligible for a Hall of Fame, I believe, not this year, but next year, if I remember correctly. Because every 5 years,
Yeah, it's
if you
very soon.
retire, because 5 years after you retire, then you're eligible to become a Hall of Famer. So my thing now mentally is, so is Brady a first ballot? Because if Brady's a first, I think I know what they are trying to do.
They
Oh
going
my
they going
god.
uh they gonna put them both in the Hall of Fame at the same
They gonna
time.
put them both in the Hall of Fame at the same time. Oh my gosh, Tamir. Oh my gosh, it just clicked. Oh my gosh, that's what they're trying
So
to
then
do.
I guess the debate will just never end of was
Oh
it
my
Belichick or was it
gosh,
Brady?
that's what they're trying to do. Cause it literally when it clicked in my head, I'm like, wait a second. So Brady goes in next year, cause technically next year it'll be 5 years since he's retired. They trying to put Bill Belichick and Brady in the same. Oh my gosh, that's what they trying to do. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be one
You
funny
just had an
Hall of Fame
aha moment
ceremony.
right there.
Yeah, we gonna clip this. We're definitely clipping this. Oh my gosh, we're definitely clipping this. Now it kind of makes sense. Now, if that's what they're trying to do, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. Since Tamir, you kind of read my mind. How you feel about that?
Corny. You should have just put them in now. Just one word is corny. Like once you figure out, oh, Brady is eligible for the fame next year. Nah, we already know what you're gonna do. Y'all are
What?
cornballs. Y'all should have just gave this man his flowers now, and then gave Brady his flowers when his time was due. Making him wait for his quarterback is weird. It is what it is, though. As long as he's in
That's
the Hall of
weird.
Fame, I can't complain.
That's weird. Ben. Ben.
Yeah, and speaking of head coaches, guys, I guess I could kind of segue this into the next thing here.
Oh
Speaking of
dear.
head coaches, we
Oh
had
gosh.
the big head coaching carousel, guys, and we
Once
had
again.
10 teams looking for a new head coach, and seven of them have filled. Oh, actually, sorry, excuse me. Eight of them have filled up their spaces with just the Raiders and Cardinals now left. Today, we saw the Browns hire Todd Munkin. The Atlanta Falcons, like we mentioned earlier, hired Kevin Stefanski. The Giants ended up with John Harbaugh. The
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins ended up with Jeff Hafley. Robert Sala went to the Titans. That's pretty good for Cam Ward, in my opinion, and the whole Titans
And I'm
organization.
also gonna say Mike Waffle House McCarthy to the Steelers.
That was nasty. They did that strictly for Aaron Rodgers. He's getting I don't even know what type of treat. He's getting otherworldly type of treatment right now, Aaron Rodgers. I don't
Who
know.
knows if Arod is back next year? I think he is. I think he is. But I think the huge question is just going to be, does he return to Pittsburgh or does he go somewhere else? I think the odds
Now
are
you
in the
know he coming back to
favor.
Pittsburgh.
I think the odds are in everybody's favor for him to come back to Pittsburgh. I mean, we saw how much he loved the city and playing for Mike Tomlin. I mean, Mike Tomlin's not there anymore, but now you pair him with his old head coach that he won a Super Bowl with. I mean, that's obviously worth something. So, and then
Over
we
16
lastly,
years
yeah,
ago.
He won a Super Bowl four, not with he won the Super Bowl for
yeah,
him.
Over
yeah, and then
16 years ago,
lastly,
if that counts.
mhm. And then lastly, we had Baltimore hire Jesse Minter, as we said before, and then the Bills hired Joe Brady. Not
Yeah,
sure what the thought process behind that one was,
I
but
want to hear. I want to hear you guys' thought process behind the Sean McDermott. I know we discussed this in the
I
collab,
knew it was
but
coming. I knew
We
it was
all knew it
coming.
was coming. If they didn't win this shit, we all knew. When the game was over, I texted my other group chat. I was like, "All right, Sean is gone." It was like, "No, he's not. No, he's not. Nah, he's
yes, he
gone.
is.
He's going." They had the best receiver at one point in time, Stephon Diggs. You could argue about that. This, that, third. He was definitely top three, no matter what you say. In the few years he had in Buffalo, you got a top five run. Yeah, you got the best running back this year in James Cook, and you got two. They definitely
Selfish.
top 15 tight ends. Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. No matter how you put it, if they're both on different teams, they're putting up great seasons. So it's like, what more could you ask for? Sean, not even Sean McDormand. Josh Allen. Josh Allen got
Josh
his
Allen
coach
suffering.
fired. He got his coach fired. But if I was Sean McDermott, I'm going to a different team. I'm showing them what's what. So this is a good opportunity for Sean McDermott. What's the two teams left? The Cardinals and the
Cardinals and the
Raiders.
Raiders, and the
Raiders.
Raiders have the number one draft selection, and we'll get
So
into
I don't
our
know how we
mocks
don't know
soon.
we don't know. Yep, we don't know.
I would go
Honestly,
to the
we don't.
Cardinals if I was him, but I feel like he shouldn't have got fired. He got fired for no reason.
I just think it's shocking that they chose Joe Brady. I mean, maybe they didn't have the best pool to pick from to begin with, but Joe Brady was honestly a failure in Carolina. So, I mean,
I wouldn't. Well, they could have brought back Brian. Mm,
Cliff Kingsbury was still there if he's not already hired. I'm pretty sure he's still a free
he's
agent, I
still free.
guess.
He's still Cliff Kingsbury could have came to the Baltimore Ravens, could have been under Lamar Jackson, as I previously mentioned. But Brian Daboll could have came to Buffalo because even though Brian Daboll
Wait,
and
didn't he
Josh
just get
Allen,
hired to the Titans?
yeah,
yeah, Brian
no, that was Robert
Dable
Sala.
is
Oh,
no
no,
Brian
no.
Dable. Brian Dable is on the Titan staff
He's the
now. Yeah.
OC. He's the
Yep.
OC.
Yep. Amazing
Yep,
hire for Tennessee.
and
I
Robert
love
Sala is
that
the head
one.
coach.
Yeah, so that's
Another
a you
another
got a
kind of
defensive head coach and a
yeah.
great offensive coordinator. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying watch out for Tennessee because they need a lot. They almost need Jesus on that squad to be competitive.
They need
So
no. That I'll say this, and y'all might think I'm crazy, but you saw what Cam Moore did with the little. He only has seven interceptions in his rookie year. All you need realistically, and you don't have really a run game with Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is like a you've seen what Tony Pollard can do on Dallas. Yeah, he's a run. Start with the offensive line. Let's just start there. Start the offensive line. Work your way back. Get you a good offensive line. Get you a wide receiver one, and then focus on the defense is good in my personal opinion. I feel like the defense when they held Bo Nix in the Bo Nix in that Broncos team to under 20, I believe in the first game of the season, I honestly believe that they were going to get blown out. Not the 10 times were going to get blown out, but honestly, I think Cam Ward is going to work with what he has because we've seen what he's done in this season. It's only first season. You've seen what he can do. So honestly, I think that the development of Cam Ward is going to be studied, and I think is going to be beneficial to Brian Daboll and how he could work with him and alongside of him.
Mhm.
So honestly, I would work on the offensive line because he was running for his gosh darn life last season. Get him a wide receiver one. Please give him. I'm so serious. Get him a wide receiver one, please. That brother is
someone who can
good
actually
lord.
catch the ball. Because Cam Ward, I think I sent you a TikTok a couple months ago, MJ. I was like hashtag open the vault. Cam Ward has thrown some of the craziest passes I've seen in my life this season. Go like if you got the time, please go look at Cam Ward's film this season. Some of the passes
Please,
he's thrown and
please,
some of the things he's done for this team.
please.
He's the dark skinned Mahomes. Let me say that. He's the dark skinned Mahomes. The things he's doing out there. Cam Ward just needs a solid receiver and he's gonna be great. But
That
he also
offensive
needs at
line
least two good O linemen. So that
blind
at least
spot.
two good tackles to protect this blind spot. So that's all I think Titans need, and obviously defense. But Robert Salah, I can't pronounce his name, but he's gonna help
Salah.
him out.
Follow.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out, but he's gonna help him out on defense. But that's all you need. But if I'm Tennessee this year, what pick they got? The third, fourth,
They got third.
third.
Yeah, third. Yeah.
I'm not getting a tackle at third. I'm not getting a tackle at third.
Because it's more because this draft, like I said, is more based in defense and tackles. That's really the basis of this draft. Granted, we have Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza. Arguably, he's going to be the first riser right now. He's going to be the first overall pick, to be honest.
He's probably the
So
greatest riser we've seen.
that's not a crazy take. Honestly, that's not. Think about it logically. That's not a crazy take. Great PR training, FYI. But I'll also say that we know that Fernando Mendoza is going to one. But what I've also seen in these mock drafts is like 2 to 10. Everybody has a different 2 to 10, and that's what I like about it. Some people have Caleb Downs going number 2. Some people I used to
Yeah,
I used to,
after Dante didn't declare, Caleb Downs shot up in mock drafts. He shot up to number 2 to the Jets. Arvell Reese before Dante Moore didn't declare. He was number 2. So the Jets is projected to get either they're going to get some generational defensive talent on the Jets. I just hope they don't waste their talent. But a fun fact: the last time a safety was drafted top 10 was to the Jets, and that was Jamal Adams. And we saw how great he was when he was playing for the Jets. So hopefully Caleb Downs could do the same thing, but let's hope he don't do that and he falls to Dallas.
Yeah, it's going to be very
Because
interesting to
some people
see
go
what
go Ben.
what happens with the number 2 pick and onwards. Obviously, that's where the draft kind of starts because we're all assuming that Fernando Mendoza is locked into the Raiders at number 1. And MJ made a great point with the tackles. I think Spencer Fano is going to go super early, and I also think Francis Mayugo. Wow, I butchered that. So sorry. But yeah, I think the tackle out of Miami could go very early as well. But I want to bring up an interesting point here about these top 5 teams. Or actually, I could include the Saints and the Chiefs as this as well. But I think what really is going to shift the draft kind of crazy or really kind of start it up in terms of how these dominoes start falling is what team and where Jeremiah Love falls at. Because you could argue that a lot of these top 10 teams need a running back. I mean, what happens with Brees Hall next year for the Jets? I mean, that would be the highest running back selected since Saquon Barkley, I would guess. But people are calling Jeremiah Love a top 2, top 3 player in this draft. And I'm not saying that he would be the best fit for the New York Jets because they still have Braylon Allen on their depth chart coming back from injury this year. But maybe they still use him as a third down back and still have him some time to develop. But the Cardinals could also use a running back. James Conner is on the second year of his contract, but he was injured all last year.
He
But
tore it. It's over for
yeah,
James.
it's interesting with James Conner as well because he hasn't had a terrible track record with the Cardinals. He's almost hit 1,000 yards every season that he's with them, so that's going to be interesting. Tennessee, like we just said, could use a running back. Give Cam Ward a bell cow back, and then still
Mm-hmm.
keep Tony Pollard as your number 2. I
As
mean,
your
there's just a
receiving back.
lot of there's just a lot of places Jeremiah Love could go. I mean, people are
But I will
also
say
mocking
this.
him to the Saints sometimes, but I'm not really too
Mm-hmm.
crazy about that pairing because Alvin Kamara is still there. But
Uh,
I think
I'm
the latest he will go would be number 9 to the Chiefs, and if the Chiefs manage to get him, that would be a home run pick.
I would say this. I think it's time to let go of Alvin Kamara. He's regressed. He's a great running back, but it's just not doing. It's just
I'm a
what he's
go
done
ahead.
with how he was performing earlier and then how he's performing now. It's just not the same. And I think the Saints just need that true running back, that true running back. And I think Alvin Kamara could be a great running back too. He's gonna be a great mentor for Jeremiah Love. But I think every Saints in the last few years, a lot of Saints running backs have been pretty good. We had Mark Ingram, he was solid. Then we got Alvin Kamara, he was super solid. And I think Jeremiah Love will fit right into the Saints game plan if they keep Chris Olave. Because we don't know what's gonna happen with Chris Olave. But America,
That's
we can't let the Chiefs get him.
but
Yeah, in
I
a
think
perfect world, I'll see him going before number 9. That's like the absolute latest he'll go.
I think we're looking at I think I'm looking at this Alvin Kamara stand from the Christian McCaffrey stand because we know Alvin Kamara still got it. We know he can be a top 5 back in the league. It's just look at the team he's on in comparison to CMC. Look at the team CMC was on. He was on the Carolina Panthers. Not a good offensive line at that. He was injury prone. He
But let
very
me
much
let me say
injury
this real
prone.
quick. CMC had 1,000 yards in Carolina multiple times. He was 1,000 yard receiving back and running back or and rushing back in Carolina. Then he did it in San Francisco. Alvin Kamara has never ran for 1,000 yards in his career or
He
caught for a
hasn't.
thousand yards neither. So they're really not the same. Alvin Kamara is the downgrade to CMC. That's just how I feel about it.
I mean, you're not lying about that. You're not lying about that, but I'm thinking about the situations that they were both in comparison. That's what I'm thinking about. Look at the situation that Kamara's in. The New Orleans Saints spent most of their bread, most of their cap on Derek Carr. Where's Derek Carr right now? Retired and preaching somewhere. No offense to Derek Carr. God first, we love Jesus. Like look at what they're ever since Drew Brees left and retired. The Saints just been on a downward spiral. That's all it has been. So realistically speaking, I'm just trying to look after the career of Alvin Kamara because we know he's a great back. We know that what he can do on the field. We know what he can do, but I feel as though right now he's not given the opportunity to do so because So is throwing death balls to Chris Olave. So in regarding the draft, I will say this: don't be shocked, and this is one of my sleepers. Don't be shocked if Jordan Tyson goes fourth. Don't be
Hmm.
shocked.
Jordan Tyson did the Arizona State receiver.
Don't be shocked if the Tennessee Titans
He
decide to
was my
go
receiver
after.
number one, but Cornell Tate is definitely a giant.
I got
It's
Cardinal Tate as the first
Cornell
receiver
Tate is
going
a
off
New
the
York
board for
Giant.
me.
They would be it would be ridiculous for them not to get Cornell Tate, and I
I
will let.
think I think the Giants go offensive line. I think they have to for
yeah.
Jackson Dart. I
They
think
have
that would
to.
be
So
the
you think they
pick for the
resign Wandell?
Giants. I believe so. I think he proved everything he needed to last season as a receiver. I believe
Or
he was
or
top 10 in the league. So
if he didn't get hurt, yeah, you signed Wandell, but you obviously when Malik Neighbors' contract is up, you gonna have to pay him. I think this is Malik Neighbors' payout year because this is his third year. If
Nah,
I'm correct.
this is
If I'm
30. It would be his 3rd year. I think it's usually 4 years because he was a top 10 receiver.
oh, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
he was a top 10
But
receiver.
that
So
makes sense. But I
yeah,
think
the first. Oh,
honestly,
sorry. Go ahead, MJ.
go ahead. But honestly, I see if you're thinking that the Giants might go tackle, then you might as well get that tackle Spencer Fano out of Utah because
I have
as a
Spencer Fano going number 3 to the Cardinals.
they do need a tackle and protect Kyler Murray. They do need that. But
you think Kyler Murray is going to be the quarterback still?
I think this is it. I think one last time and that's it. I think he's given all the chances that he has given, but right now the Cardinals they, James Carter is out projectedly until mid-season next year, so they're gonna need some type of help in the backfield. So honestly, they might. They're not. They're not gonna take. Yeah, he might. Jeremiah Love might go to Arizona. He might.
Yeah,
If
for me,
not,
I think it's either tackle or running back for Arizona at 3.
there's no other way. There's literally no other way. Because you're not picking up a quarterback. You're not picking up a quarterback. It's either between a tackle or a running back. And honestly, I will go tackle. I will go tackle in this situation. I will go tackle in this
I
situation.
got a hot take. I got the Jets making a trade in the late first round and picking up Ty Simpson. That's
Ben, what did
what.
I
I've
tell you?
seen that
Ben,
as
what did I tell
well.
you? Ben, what did I tell
I've
you?
seen that
Ben,
as
what did I
well.
tell you?
That's
Ben, what
what
did I
Mel
tell you?
Kiper has in his latest mock draft.
Ben, did I not tell you that?
I just think 16 is just way too early for Ty
I
Simpson.
got
But
them
you did
below
say
Ty. I
he
got them below 20. I got them below going like maybe 25,
so
24.
trade back from 16 and take Ty Simpson. They would have to trade before either Pittsburgh's not picking them. They just drafted Will Howard, so I think they're going to see what they have there. He hasn't even really gotten that much of a shot yet. They would have to. I think the ceiling for Ty Simpson, I guess, would be 29 to the Rams. I really like that pairing with Sean McVay and have him sit under Matthew Stafford for a year. I just think if the Jets draft a QB in the first round at all, that they just need to sit him because what does New York love to do with quarterbacks? They throw them to the wolves. So if this coaching staff wants to prove that they can coach players and do what they were hired for, then yeah, they're gonna want to try to, I guess, nurture a young QB. But that's never happened in the history of the New York Jets. So I personally would not even attempt to pick a quarterback in this weak quarterback class and honestly just look
Very
forward
weak.
to 2027 because you're not going to be good in 2026. So get a generational player at 2 was what I would do on defense because your defense was historically bad last year. And at number 16, you could go defense again because your defense was that sorry. So I got them picking Ruben Bain Jr. at number 2. And at number 16, I have them picking Jeremiah McCoy. And yeah, Jeremiah McCoy was injured for all of last season pretty much, but the Jets can afford to miss at pick number 16. And if they fix their defensive line and their edge rushing, get a replacement for Quinn Williams, and then I guess get your Sauce Gardner replacement at that point. I mean, pretty big shoes to fill, but this Jets team needs a lot of players.
It's pretty crazy how every single body in this podcast is fans of teams who got 2 first round picks. So as like it's crazy, but as you said, you can't miss on both of them. You can't afford to miss on both of these picks.
Dallas,
So
that's the thing. Dallas, we draft well. We out of throughout the year. Taco Charlton, excuse me.
Monty Smith, like
Thank you. But we out of those 2 times, we particularly draft well. So I think for Dallas, I think because right now we have the 12th and we have the 20th pick. thank you, Green Bay. Appreciate y'all for making the playoffs. Um, Honestly, looking at Dallas right now, because since we're a top 12 pick, I think we need to revitalize. I think we need
Defense.
more linebacker. I think we need to go defense.
Sunny
I have Sunny
Styles.
We
Styles
need to
going
go
to
Thank
y'all
you.
as
Come
linebacker.
well.
to
We
Dallas.
need
Yes, I
If
have.
we can't
linebacker.
get Caleb, Sunny
We need
Styles.
linebacker.
I have
We
y'all
need
Welcome
double
to the
linebacker.
Dallas
dipping. Yeah, I
Cowboys.
have y'all
Go
double dipping
linebacker.
with defense
My
as well. I
mine.
have Sunny Styles at 12, and then at 20, I have y'all getting Cassius Howell or any form
Yeah.
of defensive
I
rusher.
wouldn't be mad with Mansour Delane. I would not be mad with Mansour Delane. He
I
proved
LSU
himself to be a.
baby.
I have
LSU.
him going the pick
LSU
right
baby.
after y'all at number
I
13 for
wouldn't
the
be mad.
Rams. So that's
And
the
we
thing.
could.
We
And
run the
it's a
money with
lot of
that.
great linebackers in this draft. C.J. Allen. He could probably fall to us at 20. It could be a little bit of a reach for us, but he fills in a role we desperately need. And then as
I
you,
think honestly, I think because my thing is one of the main things Jerry always does for some odd reason. He always drafts a tackle in the first round.
oh
I
yeah,
don't know
Caden Proctor is a
why.
cowboy. Caden Proctor at 20,
Yes,
he's a
roll
cowboy.
tide, roll
He's
tide.
and I feel like he's gonna elevate. Get rid of Terrence Steele, for the love of God. Get rid of him. I don't know
Yo,
what you got to do. Hey, dump
yo,
him in Nevada acid. I don't know. I don't care. Do
I have a
something. Get rid
question.
of.
No, wait, I have a question. I have a question. Why is it January 28th? Why is my birthday on Sunday and Kenneth Murray is still on the Cowboys? Why? 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 What do we see in Kenneth Murray? What do we see in Kenneth Murray? I need to know. What do we see in Kenneth Murray?
Hey, man, y'all.
Why?
They know something we don't. I
Why?
guess.
Why? But I will say about the Ravens because they do. The Ravens need a wide receiver, a guard, a defensive lineman.
I
I
have
will
Makai
say,
Lemon
look,
going there.
I wouldn't say they go wide receiver.
They got to.
I think Denzel Boston goes there.
I have Denzel Boston pairing up with Pittsburgh. I have him going at 21 there.
That late?
Possibly.
I mean, not
I,
not
I
really that
have
late.
I
It's more
have
like
Makai
it's not
Lemon
really
as
that
my
late.
wide receiver 3 personally, and then I have for me it goes
Wait,
Tate,
so I yeah,
Tyson,
Tate Tyson.
Lemon, and then Boston.
Honestly, I can see Lemon going to Miami. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it could just be their, taste of receiver at the end of the day. Miami is picking before the Ravens. I think they need a wide receiver replacement for Tyreek Hill and
Yeah,
Jalen Waddle, possibly. Jalen
because
Waddle had
I think
honestly a
they're rebuilding.
disappointing year last year. Hopefully he bounces back, but they're going to
Mm-hmm.
need receivers for whatever quarterback they're going to be rolling with. I mean, it's going to be Q Ewers, most likely for now. So, yeah.
I do got a situation. I do got a mock draft. Imagine Jerry Live goes early. Jeremiah Love goes early, right? To whatever team. The Chiefs could end up with Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson. And
I
would
think
that
their wide
be
receiver room is too crowded. I don't know. I think they
they
just picked up
and they're
Jalen
gonna let
Royals
some of the
last
receive.
year,
Yeah,
and they do have Hollywood Brown, and they do have Rasheed Rice.
I think they let go of some of these receivers.
I can see
So
Ruben
on this,
Bain.
yeah, on the screen currently, guys, this is the second mock I made today, and honestly, it's not perfect, but this is the scenario where Jeremiah Love falls to the Chiefs. We talked about the Giants already. Carnell Tate to the Browns would be sensational, in my opinion, and
Man,
be a
if
perfect
Jerem
fit.
if Jeremiah Love falls to the Chiefs, God help us all.
I mean,
God
this
help us
board that
all.
I have right here, the top 10, I feel like is super realistic.
The one
Because
thing I
think about it,
disagree with, the one thing I disagree with is the New Orleans pick. That's the one thing I disagree with, to be honest with you.
Cameron Jordan is getting older,
Yeah.
He is,
and that Saints defense is already good. Imagine if it was even better. They
but I
get
think they might. That's
arguably
the thing,
top one,
because
top two edge rusher in the class. They're calling David Bailey technically the purest edge rusher in this class because with Ruben Bain, it's is
mm-hmm.
he more of a edge guy, kind of like edge rusher, and
You
then
know what? Yeah,
Arvo Reese is he more of a linebacker kind of thing, but David Bailey is just the truest, purest, kind of third down, three downs, get after the quarterback kind of player. So I think
No
especially
he could
heavy on
even
gloves, no
he could
Davis.
drip.
So
yeah he could
He's
even go number two. in my
If
opinion. It's really just
ooh,
yeah. I think that's a hot take. He could even go number two to my New York Jets. I
so
think
how
kind of
I do have a
another
question for you,
obvious.
Ben.
Yeah,
I do
what's
have
up?
a question for you. So I see Caleb Downs to Washington. What drops him so low for you?
I just think it's just the position itself. It's nothing against Caleb Downs at all. I would love him on the New York Jets defense, but I just think teams kind of, I guess, go towards the notion of not picking a safety so early. I believe Jamal Adams was the sixth pick in the draft when the Jets selected him, or the seventh pick. So I believe Caleb Downs is some of. I mean, he's probably a better prospect than Jamal Adams was coming out of LSU. But I think that would be a perfect fit for Washington because we saw how bad their secondary was last year, and they desperately need secondary help. So I wouldn't see him falling after seven at all. He's a top seven pick in my opinion. Locked it in.
I like the
Now,
draft.
Tamir, I have a question for you. Tamir, I have a question. Sorry to interrupt you. I have a question for you. So I see at the 20, we have Cassius Howell. Oh, let me pull up yours actually. I see for Ben, but I'll talk about Ben's and I'll get to yours, Tamir, in a
Mhm.
minute. I see Cassius Howell at the 20 for Ben. Do you think in any form of way, any way we trade that 20th pick and we go earlier?
If we trade the 20th pick, it would be for a player, and it'll probably go to Vegas. I'm thinking if we trade that 20th pick, we'll go pick up Max Crosby because it would fill a position we
Mm,
need, and it'll be a fair trade. I think Max. We all know Max Crosby probably wants out of there.
I think the only way you guys truly trade up into the first round is for Sunny Styles. I mean, in this one, I have him, right there to you guys at 12. But I mean, even the Jets could be interested in him. The what other team could be interested here? I mean, the Titans could also go linebacker. They need edge help. So, but I don't think he would require to trade up for. So that's why I have him just selected at number 12 there.
See, one thing I noticed about both of our mock drafts, Caleb Downs goes to Washington for both of the drafts. We got Arvell Reese. I really think Arvell Reese will probably change our defense a lot. He'll help you out a lot. He gives our pressure and pass coverage. But Sonny Styles, I don't think a lot of people notice. He was a former safety. He has the
So he could,
safety
yes,
movement. And then we
exactly.
just hired
Good eye, Tamir. Good eye.
Christian, I forgot his last name. The Eagles pass game coordinator, who's developed countless of all pros. Yeah,
PS2.
Pat Sertan. You could say Riley Moss is a pretty good corner. As we know, the Eagles that they got their all pro twins with Quinyon Mitchell and what's his name? Cooper DeJean, thank you. So Sonny Styles would probably thrive in a I can't remember Christian's defense defensive system. But even though I say Caden Proctor, I wouldn't be mad if he goes to us at 20. I picked up Caden McDonald in this draft simulation because we need all the help we could get on that line. We did get Quinny Williams. We do have Kenny Clark. If we
And
get
we and we I
Kenny
would say we
McDonald under those two
overshown.
overshown, he's more of a poor man's Arvell Reese. He does it all for us, like Arvell Reese was doing for the Ohio State Buckeyes. That's what Overshown reminds me of. But at the end of the day, we will probably want Sonny Styles. And as I don't know if you guys have been hearing how we're probably going to steal a couple Eagles players like Blankenship
Oh yeah.
and the
Oh
Kobe
yeah.
Dean. If
Oh
that does
yeah.
happen, our defense is automatically at least middle of the pack in the NFL. And we saw what we could do when we sometimes get stops in key games. We shut Philly down. We beat the Chiefs, and it's a lot. We had hope this year, so hopefully Jerry Jones restructures a lot of contracts, resign George Pickens, or at least tag him. Resign what's his name,
No,
Javante.
no, 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 no. We are
Look,
no.
dude,
Do
it is what
not
it is. He's probably
tag.
going to tag him.
Do
He's probably
not.
going to tag him. We got to hold that. He's.
I think what could really be a big question mark in this draft too is where does Brees Hall land? I mentioned it like super early in
Yeah,
that,
he
That's a
so
did.
great
that's
question.
going to be a big topic of this year's
I
draft
think
as
Brees
well.
Hall it gets
If
moved
they
before the
move him,
draft. I
I,
think
I
he
mean, I feel like they could be before the draft, during the draft. I think the two most
The
likely
Jets,
kind of
the Jets
scenarios
can
for
do the
him would
most.
be either the Chiefs or the Arizona Cardinals.
I
The
could
Jets
see,
can go ahead.
I could see them trading their 16th pick
Thank you,
to get to the
thank you,
3 or the
thank you,
4
thank
with
you,
Brees Hall and picking up
thank
another
you.
player, another
That
key
That
player.
would be that would
thank
honestly
you,
be an insane move by Darren
thank you,
Muji. I honestly would do that. I
thank
mean,
you.
honestly, what I would
The
do after that, if I was able to have back-to-back picks at 2 and 3, I would just go Ruben Bain and Jeremiah Love. I mean, get arguably a generational player on defense and then a generational player on offense. You already have Garrett Wilson. You have a couple other receivers. And yeah, I think they could sort of fix their receiver depth in the later rounds ish. This is a good receiving class.
Super
So
good.
that's
thank
a
you.
that's a good point you make there. I love that idea, but it would Arizona allow that? Would Tennessee allow that? Because what if Tennessee wants to pick up Jeremiah Love like you have right here?
If not them, the Giants would probably allow it. We all know the Giants aren't the smartest people in the
Mm.
world. They let Saquon go for no reason. So if that don't work, the Giants might allow it. Or
Yeah, so then he would have to basically, I guess, get whiffed by the Cardinals and the Titans. So I feel like Titans would be a good pick. He'd take a lot of pressure off of Cam Ward. So it's that this is what I'm saying. I think the draft just starts and it just every domino falls depending on where Jeremiah Love gets drafted.
Because when
And
I tell
because this is
y'all,
the highest drafted running back we're projecting since Saquon Barkley.
when I tell y'all right now, because I'm gonna go lie, Tamir, you have definitely been in my mock drafts. I'm not gonna lie to you because I've been overthinking this criminally about the Jets will do a Jets thing and trade their 16th pick. They will literally pop out and literally the time will be up for the draft for either the Cardinals, the Titans, or the Giants pick to be up, and they'll be like, oh, they've traded their pick to the New York Jets. The New York Jets are now on the clock. The Jets can do the most Jets thing imaginable and pull that stunt. So honestly,
I would be ecstatic. Honestly, I wouldn't care who the head coach is, whether it's Aaron Glenn or people are saying John Gruden could be the coach next year. I don't care. You
oh
add a
get them back in the
generational
field. I want
player.
John Gruden there.
If you add a generational player on both sides of the ball, Darren Muji,
man,
build a statue for him.
man, that'll be crazy. I'm not gonna lie. New York might go insane, rightfully so for that. They genuinely might go insane. But one thing that also piques my interest, where is it at?
Talk about the
Caden
tackles.
Proctor. Yep, that's all I'm about to get to. Caden Proctor. Where on Philly do you see him shining the most? Because Philly already has a stacked O line. They don't really need a tackle in my personal opinion as of right now. I saw him going to more towards more. If he went that far down, I saw him going towards more Cleveland because Cleveland is in a rebuilding process. So even though Caleb Lamu he will be available if Caden Proctor is taken by the 24 Tamir. Why why do you see the why do you see the Bama tackle going to Philly?
Philly has a thing about freakishly athletic guard linemen, as we've seen. So if it wasn't Philly, I think Detroit would have probably picked them up. But as we saw, they got friend. I'm not going to even try to pronounce his last name. But yeah, as we saw, we got the Ohio, not the Ohio, the Miami tackle, and it's just like I think Philly. I think that would help out because Philly, they definitely digressed in their own line when they lost. What's his name? What's his name? He went to the Chargers and he sucked on the Chargers, so I think he should have stayed with Philly. But he got a bag. So,
No, but there was one and there was another offensive lineman that went to New England. Now he's in the Super Bowl as well. So I think so. Honestly, you make a valid point regarding the tackles coming out of this draft.
but this raises
Yeah,
another
this is a very.
question.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say it's a very strong tackle class. Oh, go ahead.
It is a strong tackle class, but like, what is going on with AJ Brown? Are they going to be able to get a first round pick for him?
That's
Are
an
they going to?
interesting topic
I
too.
could.
Does AJ Brown get moved
AJ
on
Brown's going to be a
draft night?
Patriot. AJ Brown's going to be a Patriot.
You think the Patriots give up a first round pick for AJ Brown?
I would.
Yes, I think so. I think so. I'll discuss it with the reasoning why as we go into more of the draft. I already have my reasoning as to why I know that that AJ actually yeah, we'll end off on this. I have time. We have time. We'll end off on this. The reason why I believe AJ Brown would be a Patriot is because think about it. The Titans drafted AJ Brown. Mike Vrabel was the head coach at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Vrabel is the only person that can control AJ Brown because we ain't seen none of this from AJ Brown when he was in Tennessee. When Ryan Tannehill was quarterback, when Derrick Henry was running back, we didn't see any of this from AJ Brown. Now he gets to Philly and media is on his neck and on the team's neck because he's causing team drama. I guarantee you, him stepping foot in New England, yeah, what you did in Philly, you ain't doing that. Reading books to during media, you're not doing that. What saying dissing your teammates? We're not doing that here. So I think AJ Brown wants some form of stability, and I don't think because it's a lot of superstars in that Philly locker room. I don't think there's a lot of stability in the locker room. And think about the coaches as well. Yeah, granted you have Big Dom, but you Big Dom is not the head coach.
He's
Nick
not a coach at
Sirianni,
all. He's just a
he's not
security
a coach.
guard.
He's just a security guard. He's just Big Dom is just a security guard. So honestly, with Philly, there's no form of stability. You have a mid-tier, maybe below mid-tier quarterback, and you have a Devontae. What was that pose, bruh? What are we doing, bruh? Why? Why are we in magazines now, bruh? Devontae, I had nothing. I had
Let him
nothing
rock. Let him
against you,
let him rock.
bro.
Let him rock. He just had to spend a season with Jalen Hurts. He had to spend another season with Jalen Hurts. Let him rock.
Bruh,
That'll
Devontae,
happen to you when you got a Jalen Hurts at your QB.
what are you,
But this raises
what are
another.
you doing,
So
bruh?
if Philly gets the Patriots first round pick for AJ, do they still pick up Kenyon Sadiq? That would, I promise you, that'll elevate Philly offense. Dallas Goddard, Kenyon Sadiq, Devontae Smith. We don't know what they're gonna do with that other wide receiver position. Devontae's probably just gonna elevate, and they're just
Elvin
going.
can be a wide receiver. Devontae can be a wide receiver one. He can
He's
be a
gonna
wide
nah.
receiver
He's
one.
definitely can. He's super talented. He could be a
He
wide
can
receiver
be
one.
Heisman winner. Just so FYI, for
Oh
those
yeah,
who
super.
didn't
Yeah,
know.
he is a. I think people forgot he is a Heisman winner. So Devontae has the capability of doing that. Or does Philly go with a defensive player, add to that stacked defense? It's a lot of things Philly could do if they trade
And the
AJ Brown for
defense
that
is
30th
young.
pick. Defense
The
is young,
defense,
but they're gonna
the
have to pay them
defense is
soon.
young.
As we seen, N'Kobe Dean's a free agent. Reed Baker, or he might be restricted, but he's still a free agent. N'Kobe Reed Blankenship, he's a free agent. And those two guys, like you, if you've been in the media like I am, they love their pass game coach. I can't remember his name. It's Christian something. Once I forgot his last name, you're gonna hear me say his name a lot. It's Christian something, and they love their coach. And I think they're gonna probably one of those guys might end up in Dallas, if not both of them. And we've seen their proven talents. They're great players. Reed Blankenship could help the secondary, not a lot, but he would help. And as Cowboys fans, we got a lot to look forward to. As a Jets fan, you got a lot to look forward to. You're one of
I
only
wouldn't say that to me.
you're
I would
one of
not
only two Jets
necessarily.
fans I know in the existence
No,
of America. Jets fans are
no. The
dwindling by the
Jets are
second.
very, very far still from contention, believe it or not.
Uh, you
I still don't understand their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator searches.
yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
understand. Why would you release all of them
that's a whole nother
after
topic.
after the fact? Why would you? That doesn't make sense. But ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the episode, give us a like, comment. Please subscribe to the channel Inside the Red Zone with MJ and Mir. Ben, where can they find you on socials?
You guys could find me over on Instagram at NFL Playmakers. That was a Z, of course. And then over on Inside the Locker Room, guys, we're on YouTube and we're going to be going live later. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be live at the NFL draft in Pittsburgh. So stay tuned for that as well. Can't wait to
And
see what happens. Maybe I'll get to witness some crazy jet picks and, throw my phone somewhere.
we do not condone people throwing their phones on this channel. Ben, please do not throw your phone. We need you, sir. We need you. But guys, once again, thank you for coming
Thanks for
on the
having
show,
me.
man. This is the first of many collabs that you're
For
going to
sure.
have on this channel, man. Ben, thank
And
you again.
hopefully we'll have a studio to use soon enough
Yo, that's
in
we
the
not talking
works.
about that.
In the
It's
works.
very silent right now. It's very gate kept right now. It's very gate kept right now. But you guys, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all on the next episode. Peace, chat.